probably times out.
Happy One Wheel Wednesday, everybody. My name is Scott Mendenhall. Welcome to our YouTube channel where we talk about One Wheel. We talk about the community. We talk about the new technology, all kinds of stuff. We are going to talk about the FST system, which is a new footpad dropped by the One Wheel factory team / One Wheel. I don't know. We're going to get to the download information on that side of things. We're going to talk about Wheel Scorcher. That was a hot race over the weekend. We got a lot of stuff to cover, so we're really excited to be with you. I have my good best friend, wife, right to my right, glowing as ever. Look at you. You're just sticking out today in that shirt.
Yeah,
well done.
Right? Neon. What do you call this? Neon yellow or green?
I'm going green.
I go green.
You go green. And it is a monsoon at the moment outside, so if you hear rain at some point, it's because we got tin roof. We got our good friend Lily, who was wearing a Dirt Surfers jersey, but it got too hot. How we doing?
I'm good. Yeah, I got hot, so I took it off.
It's off, but
here it is. I think it's neon green.
Neon green. That's the color you're going
Dirt
with?
Float life. Sorry. Yeah.
Yeah, okay. On your shirt. Yeah. Okay.
Neon green.
We have two amazing guests. They are really good friends of ours. They always have, we have an open door policy for them here. They can drop in whenever they want. They have some great dogs. They are talented and just some overall good humans. Before we get them on, let's get to the two podiums, the men and women podium of the Wheel Scorcher. You can
hot.
follow the story along like on Instagram, just hashtag Wheel Scorcher.
How did they do? I'm not on Instagram, so how did they do like highlighting the weekend?
They did again. It's hard for the event to
That's
do.
hard, yeah.
And then those that are there are trying to race.
You almost gotta have someone like specifically
come in and just do
coming in for that
and posting things that because it's never real time. I understand that we go to Dirt Surfers and we've been to different races, Windman, and it's hard to keep up on. Yeah. So, but the different segments that they showed of the trails where there were jumps, it was like a good week for the FST system to be dropped because it was definitely a foot hook kind of situation. I've been asked a lot, am I off the hashtag free foot gang? We'll talk about that in a little bit. We even got video, We got video footage of the king of that movement riding the FSTs as well. But here we go. Here are the women top 3 finishers at Wheel Scorcher. The surprise person on there was Rachel Payne. Didn't even know she's racing.
Unbelievable. That woman is unbelievable.
She didn't feel very good. She nailed it.
Just
didn't
come
practice.
Back from an ankle injury.
Yeah. We got Rachel Cecil Diesel on the top right there, who,
which is what she had
said she'd been doing.
That was the one she was going to go to
She nailed her season down to when she was sitting here interviewing, she was talking about, hey, no, this is how my season's got to go for me making it. She did what she said she was going to do. Mm-hmm. Can she go back and get it done again? Because she stamped her way. And then you got Zane sitting in second place right there. So there are the ladies' podium. And here's the men's podium right here. The men did great. It was a stacked field coming in. You have full sended Luke right there, man. Luke Austen, 3 in a row. That's impressive right there.
That's real
then
impressive.
You have Tyler right there, that's who we're talking about. He's the king of the free foot gang. I believe if you look at his foot, does he have anything on his footpath there?
I don't know if he does or not.
A little bit. It looks like it's sticking out there. And then we got Jeff Adair right there in third place. So there's the podiums. Now let's get to
Tyler James has foot hooks on there.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, and we have video footage of it. Here. This is I know that here. This was posted on One Wheel. The king of free foot gang situation at hand. And again, we just like poke the bear here. He was posted on Instagram via One Wheel messing around with foot hooks, which is just fun to see. I think we got that footage. Do we have that over there, Icon? You seen it? Maybe she's got it here for everybody to check out. And then we're going to get to our guests, who are some of the creators in some of the latest products from One Wheel. Icon is it Icon? No, Historic is struggling finding. It's there. You just got to scroll down. Let's get to our guests, and then maybe we'll bring that footage back a little bit later. It is our privilege to have the Silvas on always. Some of the the best minds in the Onewheel community, some of the genuinest, nicest people that you ever meet. Their dogs meet their persona and personalities. They are fast and swift in the trails and know the lines to take. And so their dogs have just been raised right. If you want to know if anybody's good humans, just talk about and look at the way their children behave and their dogs behave, okay? And so just saying they've done well with these guys. They've been busy. They have been one coast to the next and on their way back. This is the Silvas, everyone. Put your hands together.
Woohoo! We love the Silvas.
The Silvas.
Hi, guys.
Who do you think's more popular at this point in the Onewheel community? You two or your two dogs?
Ooh.
Ooh.
The close one.
That's a close
People
one.
do love our dogs.
Mostly the dogs, honestly.
No, get out of here. But if I see the dogs, I'm looking for it's. You can't have one without the other. If I see the pups running around, I know you're close. If I see you, I know they're close. You get both. You know,
That's right. They're always
it's
the best.
yeah. Hey, we are watching. Oh no, what? No. Okay, this is an old movie. Throwing it back, but we saw your dogs are what for everyone watching. What kind of dogs are they?
They're Weimaraners.
Weimaraners. They're great dogs. Okay. We're trying to take our kids on a journey of old movies around here, just old like early 90s. And there's a movie with Sylvester Stallone in it, and it's called Daybreak. It's where they get stuck in a tunnel.
Is it Daylight?
Daylight. Where they get stuck in a tunnel, okay, that caves in. But one of the animals that are stuck in the thing is a Weimaraner. And so when they saw that, they're like, that's the Silvas dogs. So
Stuck in a tunnel?
yeah, I can't ruin the.
Is it safe? Yeah, you guys have to watch it. I've never seen it.
I mean, I can't tell you if the dog makes it or not because I can't remember. We haven't watched it, but we watched the trailer, and that dog made it, and that's just your son. What is it? Simultaneous? Is that the right word?
Simultaneously?
Yeah, known.
Like
if you see them,
those dogs, it's the Silvas. That's how we. Yes.
It's the Silvas. It's the Silvas. Okay. How are you guys doing? Let's just get back to the real. How are the two of you doing?
We're good.
We're doing great. Yeah.
You guys have been busy.
You have been all over the map.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's been a lot of fun, but very busy summer. Lots
Yeah.
of meetups all over the country and lots of events, lots of driving. This is coming back from our second trip to North Carolina.
Second.
So
2 months, too.
yeah,
Wow.
Yeah, coast to coast.
we'll be
That's
in California for like a month and a half, something like that, and that'll be like the longest stint of us being in one place. So that'll be nice to kind of stretch our legs and start to train again for Race for the Rail.
That's
Nice.
awesome.
Yeah, so we're coming up to, I know it's not quite 1 year. We're probably, 10 months into you guys being a part of the factory team, publicly known kind of deal, right? So you're 10 months in, is that about right? 10 or 11? 10 months, right? Okay,
It's
roughly.
Like 9 or
Okay. Do you think, like, I just wondered this, like, as the season progressed and you guys are now helping create some really good content, how-tos, and some products now, do you find that has changed the way you now train? Have you had to, not train as hard for these events, change your strategy and tactics because of that? Or has it been, nah, this is just how we would have chose to do the season anyways?
Oh yeah, we've been balancing a lot more this season with research and development and these meetups that we've been doing across the country. And we really haven't had much time to train on the road. It's been hard to get in the gym on a regular basis when we're in Santa Cruz or Tahoe. In one place, it's easy to maintain a habit of working out, but on the road, I think this morning was the second or third time we've worked out on the road this summer. So, yeah,
Wow.
Our training has definitely gotten neglected, but we're looking forward to being back in Santa Cruz and
have a whole
get back to it.
A whole month.
month.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. The question, here's why I'm a big fan of you guys. Because if I'm watching what you're doing and still being able to do so well and be in the tops, okay, with minimal being a chance to ride and train, watch out. Watch out. They're going to have a whole month to train. Who are we going to see at Race for the Rail? The two of you. Whoa! World better watch out. It's going to be good.
When you guys hear that, do you feel like the expectations just go like...
Yeah, by me.
I don't know. We have pretty high expectations of ourselves. So
Yeah, you do.
Good.
we're
You
ready
should.
to hit it. We've been wanting to train, and it's been a struggle all season, balancing everything. So we're definitely ready to get
Put
back
me
on
in,
the
coach.
podium.
Put me in.
Yeah.
Put me in, yeah.
That's awesome. I love it.
But at the same time, I mean, I know that your game, and that's hard to say, but your ability to perform at the high level you want, there has been a trade-off which the whole community has gotten from you, which is time with you guys in these meetups, which has been so cool to watch you guys travel around and just get riding. And Austin, I gotta say, the best one was where I thought I was gonna have to dial 911 for you. I think it was 2 weeks ago or so when you were in Tennessee and you couldn't catch your breath and it was really hot.
Oh, the humidity.
Yeah. I pretty much this guy hadn't slept all day, then went and rode, and then that was. I laughed not at you, Austin, because I didn't want anything harmful done to you, but I did chuckle the way you posted it. So well done. But the trade-off in all of the lack of your training is also some great products that have been dropping from the headquarters, which has been in the last, let's just say, about a month. We have the 6-inch hub, which so many people have cried for. We've got. We have a brand new style of rails that have dropped. And then we've got the FST foot pads that have dropped, which are game changers to the community, which you guys have been directly involved. How much would you say you've been involved in that?
I mean,
Very.
yeah, all of
Very
those.
involved.
I mean, there were kind of projects that were like started a little bit before we got there, but it was more like one iteration, and we took over the winter and stuff. We really kind of like weeded out what we really liked about it, and then had that move on to like the next steps, and then kind of took out the things that we didn't, and then luckily, I mean, Julian kind of told us a little bit like, hey, you might have these like early on in the season, and then it was like kept getting pushed and stuff because of production. So
Yeah.
but yeah, we had several iterations that we did of each of those to work through like the different problems that would pop up.
Now, I got to assume that this is only the first version. There's going to be 2-3 versions of this that are going to get polished.
As they get tweaked.
Yeah, as they get tweaked, as they're sitting out there. I think ours arrive to answer those that are going, oh, are you still Free Foot Gang? We have a set of the foot pads coming to try.
I'm free foot gang.
Yeah.
Just because
now,
I would have no
For
idea how to
now.
install anything.
Yeah.
Watch you get on these foot
Look out.
molds. I could see you doing it.
Yeah,
Maybe.
so I'm excited to just try. You know us around here, we like to try everything just to have thoughts on each product. For those that have no idea what we're talking about, here is a picture of the FST, which stands for,
Yeah, let's have them tell us.
yeah,
What does it
well,
stand for,
but here,
guys?
we're going to pull up the picture of the FST number 1. I gotta always slow that down because it's like, here is like the entire system in one shot. Like you got, it's tricky when ordering this if you're not paying attention, because go to the second shot. If you just go to the foot pad, okay, here's the base kit, and it's $325, and you get little. I don't know. What are we calling those, Austin or Mercedes? Are they the nugs?
They're blocks, yeah.
The blocks. Thank you.
Standard nubs and standard ledges.
Yeah,
Like
this. Okay. But if you want, this is where I got confused. Actually, I've gotten confused the last couple times on stuff that's being dropped on how to get it. Because you order that and you just think it's all coming. But the thing that in this system that I'm really intrigued on, if we can put the next pictures up, is the mountain bike things. Here's the FST block systems where now if you're watching at home, you have all those options. There's 5 different options you can click through to get bigger, smaller. Austin will be able to explain it better, and Mercedes will than me. But for those at home, you can see it. It's $40, but it goes up to 55 and 65 as you modify. And then the next one, this is the part I am really stoked about, is the system inserts, which give you more grip, which you don't have to have the hooks on. And I heard Austin. I'm not sure the name of the individual that was modifying their board at the race this week where they're taking one of the little spike systems, hacksawing it in half and attaching it to a one of the blocks. You know anything about that?
Yeah, that was me.
Oh,
Wait, what?
So
I figured
version
out where I wanted my blocks and where I wanted my stance, and once I had them in place, I went and I had a couple extra pins. I took the pins, cut them to size, and they fit inside the blocks, which actually are really nice because our blocks compared to some of the other footholds on the market are a little more mellow. You can it's still enough to lift up and um, hold you on the board, but uh, it was really nice to have the pins next to the block because then it just holds your feet against the block, so you don't have to like have that outward pressure as much as you do on some of the modern holds.
Which works some weird new muscles.
yeah.
Oh, I bet.
Are you saying you're a little sore? Yeah. But when I heard it, somebody was sharing the story, Austin, of watching you do this, and they go, it was so much fun to watch this guy just re-engineer this thing on the spot, which was so cool, just to hear this version of like, no, I'm trying to make this work for me as well. So they enjoyed watching your engineer brain just go to work. And so I don't know.
Always thinking. I think I love that about you, Austin, is that it's like something happens, something like it's awesome, it's cool, but you've always got the wheels turning
Yeah.
of how it could be better. So I love that.
But yeah, we're always trying to make it better.
Yeah, which it was so cool to hear the story being told. I was like, man, I wish somebody was filming that and that just somebody got to watch it. I don't know. There might be video out there. I don't know. Mercedes.
Yeah, Neo got a little clip of it.
Yeah, I just thought. I think again for the community, you get a hold of this system and you can make it your own. Even hearing you go, now I'm going to tweak it to my liking. I do like the extra grip that comes on there and those spikes. It reminds me a lot of when I do mountain biking, the pedals and things of that would lock your feet in instead of clips. And so that excites me that you don't have to have all the hook system on, but you can have more traction so your feet don't bounce forward. I know that even the way I ride in our switchbacks that we made, man, when I'm going and I hit a little chatter, my feet tend to bounce forward, and now I'm trying to adjust and still move. It'll be fun to have those on there to hold you in. My question for you, Austin, is I've not rode them. I don't know many people have rode them yet outside of you and Mercedes sharing those when you guys have traveled and stuff. What is the foot pad harder, or is it like just the plastic version of foot pads we've had before, or has the channel system in there made it feel a little bit stiffer?
Yeah, I mean they feel like standard low boys. They were based off of standard low boys, but the outside is altered a little bit. So the concave is taken down, so there's plenty of room around the blocks, and there's a little bit of a kick, additional kick from the low boys on the ends, just to make room for those channels. But they feel very similar to the low boys.
Okay. I just, again, looking at it, is that going to, I'm excited to ride it. I really am. It's fun to know that some of my friends were in the development process, wherever spot you fell in. It's just cool to know we're getting to ride something as a community that the two of you are involved in. So thank you for doing that and giving up a little of that training.
Community's definitely benefited.
Yeah.
From
Yeah.
guys.
And then I got this again, a question for you, for both of you, as I just installed the 6-inch hub onto my GTS.
Ooh.
I had the 5-inch hub on there, which I know is not a Onewheel product, but I had that on there, and I went to the 6. Let me give you my thoughts.
They're waiting in anticipation.
Yeah, I'm waiting for the question, and I'm trying to get there without. Do you think the 6 inch is enough, or do you think you got to get to a 5-inch? And I know maybe you can't answer that because you are the factory team, or I can give my answer before that. But
I think it's important to be able to answer stuff like that. Honestly, I think that the 6-inch is enough for most terrain, and there is some terrain that a 5-inch hub will be better on. So
Yeah.
like, you know, say Texas for instance, it was
Yeah.
super chunky, super rocky. Obviously, the 6 inch is way better than 6.5. But I still think that in that kind of terrain, that's just really, really technical. 5 inch would be preferred. I
Now,
think the
fit
6
that
inch
better.
is more responsive, and most of the time, I like how responsive it is. I like
Yeah.
the 6 inch, and yeah, especially with some people running the bigger tire on it.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
what
I
I
think
I think the bigger tire is even better than the 5 inch because you
Yeah.
get the best of both worlds. It's a little less responsive, just more tire you're pushing around. But yeah, I think having a 6 inch with the option of choosing a standard or larger tire is the way to go.
That's what Mercedes just grins over there.
What's your thoughts, Mercedes?
No, that says I agree with my husband, I would assume. No, go Mercedes.
Yeah, I mean, pretty much the same. A lot of the feedback that I've heard, and then I tried Rachel Payne's board whenever I was in Texas, just like down the fire road and stuff. And I noticed that it's a little bit more nimble, like it kind of wanders a little bit more. And so I like how I can like point it and know exactly where it's going, even if you hit like an unexpected bump with the 6 inch. With the 5 inch, it moves you quite a bit more. But he's right. There are certain instances where 5 inch could be more beneficial to you, but that big tire does really kind of take care of that for the people that are running those.
Yeah, which I think, again, we just filmed it all day yesterday, and I wrote it last night.
What tire did you put on that? I forget.
On what?
On your 6 inch that you.
Well,
just,
it's the GT
what
Performance.
came with it?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
I like that tire a lot.
yeah, it was nice.
Instantly, one, I gotta be really transparent in it. The hub that I was with a 5 inch was N48. I believe, and most people say that the magnet strength in the GTSs are much more powerful than that. So going back to that magnet strength, all of a sudden I felt like, oh gosh, I've actually been missing a lot. So that was
Of your power, your torque,
everything.
all of that, yeah.
And again, Austen and Mercedes, they're going to do way better. You just heard them describe this in a much better way than me. I'm just saying I'm missing a lot, and he knows what I'm missing. I don't know what I actually was missing. I just felt the power. He's like, I like that.
Yeah, when we were writing last night, you said that multiple times, that having that S motor in it with the 6 inch, like you could feel the power you had was way better.
Austen and Mercedes, the best compliment I got about last night we were riding is Legend. He goes, wow, Dad, you're riding way faster all of a sudden.
Yeah, for Legend to say that.
Yeah.
Awesome.
He was struggling a little bit to keep up at different points, and I think it was a combination of having the stability now, where if I'm not spending a little bit more time correcting as I bonk a little bit left or right because I have a narrower tire, I didn't sense much more vibration from going to the 6. I think that the possibilities, as you just said, going to the bigger tire is better. Now, I think we have to, you know better than me and help me understand this, currently in a one-wheel format, we can't get the big tires on with the current rail setups that One Wheel offers. Is that true or false?
Yeah, that's true.
So there has to be some kind of other rail system to get on there, or to be able to do that with these rails. So I like the idea, and I think there's more available tires out there in a 6-inch rim than the other ones. But I think as those two just allude to, you almost need both.
Yeah.
I mean, you just
Well,
do.
that's the philosophy you've always lived by.
Yeah.
Oh, a new product? Yes, please. I need that.
Right, but that's what you guys are saying. You pop into Texas, it would be nice to be able to just hey, I got a whole setup here, just slide in the rim, stator, all motor, everything's in, and we're off to. That's such a fast change. That would make it fun for the racing side of things for sure. Okay, let's get, since we're talking about rails a little bit. How much involvement on those rails as we watch the video of you two sitting with Kyle and with Jack, and you guys are just talking about stuff. One, to watch you explain the friction of my feet on other rails is like, thank you. I had no idea why my foot felt that way, but now I do. Gravity has a lot to do with the playing into my problems. And if you haven't seen that, you should go watch that with those guys in the headquarters of Onewheel. So let's get to the recurve rail. That's what it's called, right? Recurve? Am I saying it right? I gotta get some of these names of things. I'm going. It's hard. It's just not sticking for whatever reason.
Because there's lots of new products that have just come out.
Maybe.
Having a recurve rail on a rally board is a little difficult. I keep calling them rally rails.
Thank you. That's what I say. That's what I say.
Yeah, you have said that.
I go rally rail. It just
when
rolls.
You said recurve,
it rolls.
I was kind of like, ooh, I thought it was rally.
Yeah, it does roll. It's also the FST, and I'm not in the. It's just not. It doesn't flow. It sounds awesome, but FST, I have to slow down. It's just like, what did you say?
Fast pads. There
you go, fast pads. That's the way to do it. Thank you, Austen, for simplifying my life in so many ways. Either I'm helping you or hurting you. Either you're like, listen, I'm not the only one that thinks this way, everybody, or I'm hurting you going, this guy brings me on and just makes fun of the names of these things. No. Okay, so let's get to the rally rails. How long did that process take to get to what we can now purchase?
Well, research on angled rails was well over a year. Neil started on some angled rails before we even got there. And that project kind of got set aside. And my rail design, which ended up being the recurve rails, I think we were dialing that in for 5 months, 4 months, something like that.
So when you would go ride these, so for 5 months, Mercedes is doing the math for you. For 5 months, you're going to ride these. How are you hiding these? Like, are you going to this like hidden trail system and they're just silver? How are you not? How did you keep it such a secret?
All the prototype rails are painted black, so that helps a little bit. But
and if we see another one-wheeler, we just kind of run away.
yeah,
Did that actually happen? Did that happen?
they put that happened a couple times. Yeah.
Oh, that's hilarious.
Get
I love that.
They put fast riders on the prototypes for a reason.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you can be speedy on the way out.
Yeah, so anything that comes to us that says, yeah, Austen and Mercedes took off, they didn't stop to say hi to us. Well, now we know why.
Yeah,
That's funny.
Yeah, for everyone watching, if that was you, they were
under their feet.
Yeah. Now people are gonna have telescope lenses on you guys all the time. What are they riding right now?
It's like in football when they're trying to read the lips for the plays that are coming up. That's
Yeah,
what
yeah,
they're doing,
that's
you guys.
Yeah.
Those are such good videos. I love those stuff.
Yeah, see? Yeah, well, now you're going to be part of those
That's
videos.
you guys.
That's what it is going to be. It won't be us doing it, but we would never do that. But this is why no rails were ever sent to me. I'm not fast enough to get away from everybody. I'd be like, caught red-handed, hand in the cookie jar. Okay, so for 5 months, like, are we talking about you go ride and you're coming back and doing just like millimeter adjustments? Are we doing, I mean, what are we talking about here in the 5 months of like each prototype? That has to take a long time to cut. I don't think you come in for a lunch break and have new rails on, or am I wrong?
I mean, there's a whole machine shop you saw in the that video. Those machines are there to cut and prototype new equipment. So, I mean, a lot of the iterations, those machines are going all the time on different projects. But when the rails were prioritized, it took 2 to 3 days between iterations.
Oh, wow.
I had a decent idea of, I've ridden all of the rails out there for the most part, probably 90% of them. But yeah, I had a good idea of what we wanted to end up with. I knew I wanted to be milder than everything out there as far as like the overall angle. And so I was aiming between like 2 to 3.5 degrees on both pads. And yeah, basically started kind of in the middle and worked up on one side and down on the other. So, I mean, we were pretty close, but dialing in the forward stance was really difficult. Yeah, that was the biggest challenge, and that took some very small tweaks.
But when you
Some of
say
them
that,
even less than a degree.
but let me jump in on that question. When you say the forward stance, now did we switch from just the rails to software, or are you just still talking about the rail side of things when you say that? Because with this, right? I don't know if people at home are putting it. This isn't just a rail change. This is the way the operating system, the firmware behaves with the rails. So were you having to do both simultaneously and having to figure out which one is the rail? Or did you get the rail down and then tweak software-wise?
Yeah, I mean there were software tweaks and rail tweaks happening simultaneously.
That's crazy. I mean, I don't know if people are just wrapping their heads around what that takes. Like for you to know, or Mercedes to go, no, I needed a little bit of this adjustment, not in the rails, but the software. That's amazing. It just is.
Yeah.
I mean, what were you asking last night? Oh, you jumped on my GTS yesterday.
Yeah.
And you're like, wow, I can feel the gradient tracking on your board.
On that one, I felt it a lot more. Now, this was after I had ridden on my board. I love my setup and
Except for Mercedes says you need a GT. She's like, what are you doing, Scott? Do you love your wife? What? You got her a GT.
Well, that worked. I mean, that's just what we could do. So you make it work. But I just noticed when I'm on the S, like just the stability in it. And then we rode for a while last night. And so I, of course, already had foot fatigue and like was a little bit tired. And you were like, you need to try this. And I got on it and I couldn't feel any of the rocks. I couldn't feel, like, it felt so good and stable. And then when I got to the hills, I was like, oh, I can definitely feel this, like, helping me better than what I noticed.
Which I was trying to tell her yesterday. I was like, that's because your gradient tracking is not turned up as severe. I was like,
I'm only writing what I don't do the settings. Sorry, I don't.
Yeah, pretty much.
You do that for me.
I think that's how. Is that okay? That's a fair husband-wife question here. So Mercedes and Austen, is this something that you tweak Mercedes boards for her, or she just said, no, don't touch my board, I'll do it myself? How's that work for you guys?
Does that sound like Mercedes?
I'll ask him for advice when I feel like I need it. I used to need it a lot more than I do now. I would say at the beginning of the season, it was always, hey, what are you riding? And then I'd kind of go based off of his. And now throughout the season and stuff, I've just gotten used to like all the different things that the shaping and stuff does and how to adjust it to where I want it exactly instead of like trying to ride his, because like I tell everybody, I've helped several people with their settings, with their custom shaping and stuff like that. And what it really comes down to is we all ride our boards different. And so even though you have my exact settings, it doesn't mean that the board's going to ride exactly the way that it does for me, for you, because we just all ride a little different.
Well, for sure. You factor in height, weight, foot stance, all of that will change.
Yeah, I think that's what all normal people think. I think Austen goes, well, where's your hips to the ground so we know your center of gravity? Because that's what we're missing is those kind of things. Lily, who does all of your custom shaping? Jordan, your husband doesn't?
What?
Jordan, your husband doesn't do your custom shaping?
No, he doesn't do my custom shaping.
Okay. So who has done any of your shaping?
Whoever left it last, what it is what it is.
It's me. In case I have to jump on her board, I want him to be identical to mine. So she just rides whatever I'm riding. That's how it is. Because
I think Jordan's adjusted the settings on our GT without me knowing it. I think it just does whatever he wants. And that's fine by me.
Yeah, I've saved my settings. I just open up the app and switch it back to Scot settings, and just there we go.
Right, of course.
Hey, Lily, that's a really good skill to be able to just hop on a board whenever.
Thanks,
Mercedes coming in so kind.
She's so great. You are just the greatest.
Goodness.
She's so sweet.
Well, that's what I mean. I am just to be able to just actually make the board activate and not
a win for you.
Like I'm doing really well.
Yeah, you've
so
come a long
let alone
way.
to get through the trails and things like that. So I'll get the custom shaping eventually. It's just not my wheelhouse right now.
Oh, okay. A question back to the fast foot pad system.
Fast pads.
Fast pads. You got a teammate in the factory team, Tyler, who has been very against foot hooks, and then all of a sudden on Onewheel Instagram, he is caught. I mean, he rode them.
And he did well.
Yeah. Did he? I didn't hear his speech after getting on the podium. Did he go, "Thank you for the FST system," or was he what was that like to be one of his team members in this journey of his?
Knowing Tyler, I knew this was going to come.
Yeah.
As soon as they came out, that he'd toss them on, and I'm glad he did, because it was really tough for only 13 people making it to Race for the Rail, and I think there was like 5 or 6 people fighting for 3 spots or 2 spots at Wheel Scorcher, and I think Tyler was in the mix there, so he put the foot pads on. He wasn't practicing very much. He was out like floating the river on Thursday, so really only got one day of practice on him. But he was able to get used to him. I cut up some pins for him too. He had the pin hybrid combo, and he killed it. He got all the way up to second place, and that's by far the best performance he's had all season.
That's awesome. Maybe he should river float before every
so you're not saying it's the FSTs. You're saying it's the floating of the river.
Absolutely.
But
I might rest before. I don't know. I could understand that.
I'm joking.
I'm a bit like him. If somebody gave them to me, I'm going to ride them. And I smiled big when I saw that video. I'm sure so many people on Instagram were smiling to see him on those as well. So.
Oh, we got the Mr. Craig James in the chat today.
Oh, damn it.
He's probably been in this whole time.
He probably has been, and then he hears his boys being chatted about. He says he thinks he's proven the point that the hooks are an unfair advantage for a race that doesn't allow them.
Well, I don't. It changes the game. I do think. Here's what I saw as a spectator. The air that people were getting over the bottom section, and I might be explaining it wrong, but the bottom section of that spot where I saw Austen, you send it at one point with the fast pads on, is that without that you don't get that kind of air and land it. You just saw it. It's like there's no way that board's not staying that long underneath your feet. It did look really impressive. I think if that's where the sport's going, if you either get along with the sport or you got to go, I'm done with the sport. And it seems the sport has spoken very loudly now that, hey, some kind of hook system is at play now, and we better figure out how to get good to continue to progress with the sport. So I think it's impressive to watch people ride without them. Tyler being one of them did such a great job doing without them. But if the sport's going there, I say you better get on it so you don't get left behind. But you can speak to that. Without the hooks, Austen, would the board stay under your feet at Wheel Scorchers this past weekend?
So the enduro section of Wheel Scorcher is by far the hardest enduro in one-wheel racing history. We were racing down Black Diamond. The pros were racing down a Black Diamond. And even the blue trail that we were riding down was really intense. It was a big jump line with big steep berms and like corkscrew downhill with jumps, and they still haven't resurfaced it, so there's a bunch of ruts and rocks from winter.
Wow.
They resurfaced
it
on the 8th.
4 days after we left.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Was it at a new location this year? Did I miss that?
It's new for Wheel Scorcher, but we had Eastern Regionals there 2 years ago.
Got it. Okay.
So, we did two of the segments were the same as previous years. So,
Sounds tough.
I've heard
that was really hard. So circling back to the fast pads, I don't think any of us would have done as well without them. Just, I mean, even the green trail, it was so choppy, and then it's like clay too. It's not very forgiving. So like, you really feel every single hole and every rock because the ground is like basically cement.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah, it helps, like it helps in cornering, holding and leveraging the board. It helps with jumps, helps with chatter. Like
Yeah.
It's a big improvement.
Yeah, I thought again, seeing that it was dropped last week, and it was an interesting time for things to be dropped from Onewheel, and so it felt like, oh, we got to get this out before the 4th of July and before the race. That's what it felt like last week, because it came out so fast. And but again, that's me, a spectator from here. I don't know anything. I just saw it and I figure, hey, it must be for the race. And then I saw videos coming from the race. It was like, oh, it's definitely for that venue, because that was wild. It was wild. It was really cool to see, though. I think watching you land them and things, I think that's where, as a spectator, you start going, oh, this sport has some legs to it, because it's inspiring to watch the air, but landing it. Because I think where we as a sport look a little, I don't even know the right word, we just don't look like we're there quite yet, is all the attempts to falls we have. It looks like, is this even possible to do that? So to watch these attempts and successes with the board staying underneath your feet and boards aren't flying down a hillside, it just looked really sharp. As a fan and as somebody that's invested in the sport, I thought, okay, this starts looking really cool in attempts to success. So, and again, just like Onewheel does really well at, is making a polished product where you go, that looks really, really good. And the functionality of the system, I don't know yet, but the looks of it and the options. Do you know off by hand? I'm going to figure this one out before we do our review video, though. How many actual options are there to set your foot pad system up with? Do you know?
Oh, the different.
Yeah.
Ooh, that'd be a great project for Legend.
Do you know offhand? Ooh, look, his brain's going. It's got to be hundreds of options.
I haven't done the factorials for 20 years. I'll let someone else figure that out.
Wait, great. We can have Legend do that.
What? When you hop back in your car and you get bored driving, do some math and help me out in my next video. It'd be great.
They're never bored driving. I was going to say, we had a lot of chat with you guys about the miles you've driven this year, and in comparison to the miles that you've ridden on your board. So if you guys can figure that out.
What? They don't care?
We'd love to. Yeah, they may not, but everybody in the chat we're asking.
Chat wants to know.
How many miles have you guys actually driven this year for one-wheel things, and how many miles have you actually put on your one-wheels?
That actually, okay, I'd buy the T-shirt.
Look at Mercedes' head. Her wheels are just like, oh.
Well, because I have two main boards that I use, and so I think we're actually we're still under about 1,000 miles for the season.
Yeah.
We have ridden 1,000 miles on our one wheels, and then for
driving is got to be well over that.
Way more.
Coast to coast.
driving, yeah. So I just drove almost 1,000 miles yesterday. Not really yesterday, but it feels
in this
like
trip.
It. Yeah, so I think our car probably has about
It's like 5,000 to go back and forth across.
Yeah, so it's between like 20 to 25 that we're at roughly for the season right now.
Wow.
I'd have to go and look at some paperwork and actually figure it out. I think I'm gonna have a photo on my phone or something.
Well, you don't have to do that. It was just in the
fans
chat earlier
know.
today. How many miles have you guys actually driven?
Yeah, they want to know. It's like,
and we're not done yet. You got more miles to put on.
No, but what I do think is what you guys started off doing a year and a half ago, 2 years ago, starting to travel all the races. All of a sudden, you see some other of those pros coming into the sport doing what you did. Mm-hmm. They're getting a vehicle. They're going to start traveling. So you guys definitely are the standard, and it's fun to watch other people strive to do it, how you guys have done it. And then they're also going to learn how hard it is to do what you did, to travel like you do, to stay fit, and to be able to be on the podium and be ranked in the top to get to the race for the rail for how many years in a row you've done it. It's been really cool to see, to watch develop. And I think the best is yet to come with the two of you. If anything, to see you guys a part of the factory team and just see, I mean, knowing you were coming on today, just reflecting on when you guys were helping me and Holly put on a roof on our house, dreaming of what this next year for you guys would be, and to watch it come out in videos in different times. So cool.
Pretty cool.
So cool. I watch every how-to video you guys create, and I haven't even bought a controller, Mercedes, but I watched you do it. So, I mean...
Thank you guys. We really appreciate you guys' continuous support.
Thank you.
Yeah, the kids are all watching it. We're glued to the TV like it's some prime time thing about a controller. It's like, wow, that's okay. But no, it's been fun to definitely watch. Austin, you're doing the how-tos as well. I had no idea until I watched the installing of the battery that I could kill myself. I didn't know that. So I'm glad I watched it. So
Thank
when
you,
I
Austin. Thank you.
you go like,
Just a little shock.
tape it. I was like, I didn't even know I needed to do that. I was like, man. Yeah, that was me being dramatic for anyone that hashtags that out. Was being dramatic in it.
Go
but,
figure.
To watch, I should tape it. And what'd you say?
Same voltage as the wall outlet.
Yeah, you see?
Outlet.
Okay.
A little shocked there, I guess.
Yeah, so I wasn't that far off. Okay, I'm just trying to be truthful here that, hey, this might be one of those things you let the team send it out to the factory to do. Don't mess with it. Okay, so all of these great things in store, and you guys are creating good content for us to watch. For the next month, is it 100% focus for you guys for Race to the Rail?
Yeah, how are you feeling going into it?
It's
Not
I don't think
100%.
It's 100%.
We've got more stuff to go
Yeah.
back to HQ and work on, but
I need to get another
It's
We
job.
might get like 60.
we don't have any meetups, so
Okay.
we'll
No
have a little
meetups.
bit more time there on the weekends, and yeah, we'll just make more time for training for sure. And we'll be in one place, so it'll be a lot easier to work out on a regular
Feel more
basis.
steady.
Okay. I can't wait to see if you're saying you got more things. I can't wait to see how this
Yeah,
year
right?
ends with Onewheel. I mean, this has been spectacular. The stuff they have been dropping with you guys involved in the whole. When I say you guys, I know it's the whole factory team doing what they're doing. I think it's tremendous. I think that we haven't even talked about the addition of the Flow team is what it's being called, correct? That doesn't stand for anything, right? It's just the Flow team. There's no acronym there,
Yeah,
is there?
it's from skateboarding, so it's basically like skateboard shops used to float products to local skaters to promote
Yep.
the company. So that's where that's from.
That's pretty cool. That is was cool to see. I think I saw that on the First Friday video that Bodie does. It was cool to see the announcement of the Flow team and who's on it. It's exciting to see the things that are being developed and put out there. So let's talk one last thing before we let you guys go. I know your battery on your phone was at minimal. Mercedes, you were at the X Games.
Yeah.
Now, were you one of the demoing people that showed people what's possible? What was your role out there at the X Games?
I showed probably hundreds of people how to one wheel, and then I was in those demos a little bit. I don't do the slides and the cool stuff that you can kind of do on all of those park features nearly as good as the boys do that were there. And so I went over and I did a couple of the demos and just kind of did like a couple little jumps, and then we did end up on one of the BMX jumps that had like a really nice berm on it. We got told that save that for after, but they they had us out in the BMX area and everything, and they let us use like the whole length of it to show people what the capabilities and like how much fun you can have on these things.
That's awesome.
And there were a lot of people. There's a lot more people there than I expected to be. I was a little nervous, honestly,
Wow.
but it was really cool to see all the people come up, and a bunch of the kids. You saw their eyes just light up,
Yeah.
like, "Oh my gosh, that's so cool!"
That's awesome.
So yeah, that was awesome.
Cool.
And the X Games experience is phenomenal. I've been to a couple of them. It's awesome. Like,
Yeah, it was amazing. They had like a couple of other things to demo there too. And so we weren't the only ones. We were kind of like in a demo area where it felt like a theme park for a minute. And then, yeah, just like all the stuff, like they don't stop throughout the day. Like there's just always something going on. But I mainly just like wanted to teach people how to one wheel, and then I'd go watch the motocross stuff because that's my jam.
Yeah,
Awesome.
I mean, to watch these athletes in the X Games do what they do, I always liken one wheel as a sport right now, like the early days of X Games. You look back at how that all started. I mean, I think the first winter X Games, they were riding shovels down a mountainside. Literally just sitting on a shovel going down as fast as they can into bales of hay. And you watch that and you see where it is today because there are a group of people that continue to say, I see something here. This is going to be awesome. And I think that's where we're at with the one-wheel sport is we see something, it can be, and it's going to take a little bit of filing down and things of that to figure out what's the best thing. And I just think at some point it'll either be a part of the X Games, which would be cool, or it's its own sport over here that stands on its own, which would be so cool to just continue to watch it progress as my kids get to be a part of it. So I thought it was cool to have some of the factory team out there and other people debuting something that we all enjoy. So thanks for doing that, Mercedes, with the team.
Yeah, of course. That was a lot of fun.
And then you hop on a plane and meet up with your husband, I guess. That's what it looked like on Instagram.
Yeah, I got in like 1:30, 2 o'clock, something like that night. And then the next day, we went and rode. Where did we ride that day? Baker Creek, right? With
Baker Creek.
Baker Creek. Sorry.
Knoxville, yeah. We had
Nice.
get together in Knoxville, and yeah, there were a couple kids that were pretty upset that they missed Mercedes on Sunday to X Games, and yeah,
I saw that.
Linking up with them yesterday or the day before.
Yeah.
That's great.
That's pretty special.
Well done to be great humans again. You just have proven my point. You went out of your way back to a place you've already gone to just put some smiles on people.
Love it.
Good job.
Those
Great job.
kids, oh my gosh, those kids were so cute. I'll do that again 10,000 times over. Really, Macri and then Keenan.
Yes. There's a lady dancing back there. She has no idea that it's going live on the internet.
Yeah.
But
Well,
Scott Mendenhall and friends.
I think Keenan, how old is Keenan? I didn't catch his age, but he's so tiny and he's just now learning how to get on there and kind of put around his backyard. I think it's so cute.
That's so awesome. That we've only gotten to meet Caffrey and his dad, and they seem like a great
surfers.
family. So we keep trying to tell them to come up to Windman.
yeah, Inspire and Caffrey are, I guess you'd call them pen pals. So they write back and forth to each other.
Caffrey was telling me about that. Yeah, he said he's written a couple of letters now.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's awesome.
So
Yeah,
it's been fun to watch those
sweet
two
family.
develop an old school friendship of handwriting letters. We're not talking text messages. It's like for those that don't know what a pen pal is, you write
The
it with
snail.
physical. Yeah,
Pen.
yeah,
It's the pen.
yeah. I think the only difference is you no longer lick the stamp. You just
Nope,
it's
they're all
sticky
stickers.
now.
you
Yeah,
used to lick the stamp? I
yeah.
didn't
Back in
know
the
that.
day.
I did not know
Oh
that.
man. What?
I did not know that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there used to be like a stamp, like glue bottle that you could just wet it. Like it was just like looked like a little glue bottle, but it was you filled
We're
it with
starting
water.
to lose our audience, Hal. We're starting to lose our audience. We're talking about
I
licking
watched my
stamps
mom
now.
do it.
We're also telling everyone how old we are. So
That's okay. I'm old. I'm on a one wheel. It's okay.
it's okay. Everything's all right. Well, we'll let you guys. That somebody's getting some nice, tasty back there.
Yeah. Frozen beverageino.
Yeah,
Here's something.
some smoothie. It's in the summer month here. It's finally getting somewhat warmish, and the kids want to keep making fruit smoothies as we have some fruits coming through our garden, raspberries and stuff. So they go pick it and they make it. The other day, Historic was making a smoothie, and she made it too thick, so it wasn't going down in the cup. So she decided to bang the cup on the table, which made all of the substance of the smoothie go up onto the ceiling.
Oh,
It's on the ceiling. Oh yeah. It's still there. It'll probably be there if you visit. It'll be up there.
Unless you want to do projects again
Yeah,
and paint the
no
ceiling with
projects.
us, guys.
No.
When?
Full on mobbing the new trails. We can't wait for you guys to come send it on the trails and film you running around. You can do. We have one loop that's a quarter of a mile, and then if you do everything before you come out, you'd almost get 1 mile in the trails. without repeating a trail for the most part. So
Nice.
That's awesome.
it's going to be pretty fun, I think, when you guys say that one more time.
It sounds like they've come a long way. Jacob was telling me about some of the stuff that he's doing up there for you, like with you guys to get some trails in there for you.
You know, it's the fun bit is to have somebody that can take your ideas and make them reality because he has heavy heavy machinery.
We can make him a reality. We just do it by hand.
Yeah.
So we go in and chop the pathways.
Yeah.
He's just got the machine that comes through.
Right. So it's a good partnership to be able to do those things. So and then you asked on Instagram with me riding every day, does it get easier or harder? It's pretty easy except for like when the week of camp. A couple weeks ago, we have another week, and we're almost, we're doing 18, 19-hour days, and there's no time for that. Oh, man, there's so many times I almost forgot, or it's almost midnight. It's like, oh, crap, I got to go ride like 1 mile, and all I want to do is climb in my bed. So there's been a couple times it's been hard. Other than that, it's pretty easy to take.
Super cool you guys have been doing that.
It's been pretty fun. Everybody, I kind of going to rat her out a little bit. She's going to be bummed by this. She missed it. Was it one day of Camp Icon? Yeah, she missed it. She woke up the next morning devastated.
It was like, I forgot to ride.
I made it 175 days, I think it was, and then she missed it, but she's not missed it since. But that's a toughie.
I bet she won't miss it again either.
No, she won't.
Icon Mercedes says, I bet she won't miss it again. Okay, she says, you're right. I
She
will.
says I can hear.
Yeah.
I can hear her, Dad.
Yeah, she must have headphones on the other side of the studio.
I love it.
Well, we're almost there. I think we're almost to 200 days of riding every day. So it'll be fun.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I don't know if I'll go past that.
A goal in mind, or
I'll go 1 year straight. One
Okay.
year straight was kind of the deal.
What do you mean you won't go past two?
Past a year.
Past a year. I'm going to do what we say. And the whole point was, I'm just going off now. You didn't ask, but I'm just giving you the information. Was I love setting goals and accomplishing them. Like if it's running a marathon, an Ironman, doing 100 miles consecutive in a run. But it's like so unachievable for my kids. Like they'll never do that. So I wanted to do something that they could do, and I could do it with them. And I can leverage at times my strength of remembering to ride and get them to ride. And so it's just teaching them to be consistent. Nope, we set a goal. That means if we're traveling, we got to take a one wheel. All these different things too.
They're good at reminding as well.
Yeah, that's the idea behind it. It's less about me just putting in miles and more about trying to teach something to my kids and then documenting it as we go. And we got so many good followers that tell me I'm getting the numbers wrong all the time. I can't keep track.
Let's.
Somebody's like, you've been on day like.
We appreciate you, followers.
Oh, we need them. They're like, you've been on one day 177 for like a week now. We're in the 80s. It's like, oh my bad, my bad.
The first month was easy.
Oh
after
yeah.
That.
Second month was easy as well. It was like then you start getting it. It's just nonetheless.
All good. Good.
Nonetheless. Okay. Austen Mercedes, have we covered about everything we could in this amount of time of your battery percentage on your phone? Is there anything else you want to add?
I don't think so. I think we covered it all. Yeah, and I haven't gotten a warning on my battery, so I think it's doing all right.
did you want to drop who made it to Race for the Rail?
Oh, yeah. Look, Austin, keeping it straight.
So good.
Keeping it straight. Okay, this is not 100% on the one we're putting up, but it's a pretty good idea of those that are going to be going to Race for the Rail. We are not those that are the callees calling them.
We don't have anything to do with that.
But this is us, with Austin's help a little bit, putting together a list of here is... we might be missing one name here and there, so please take no offense to it.
You doing the men's first? Here's who's going to Race for the Rails.
Here's the men's going Race to the Rail for after this past weekend. Here we go.
Woo!
You got the top 13. 13 men are going, Austin, or is it 14?
13, yeah. I don't know if it's showing on your screen.
It is.
But
on our screen.
It's not mine.
Yes.
But yeah, 13th is Jonathan Ortiz.
Yep, that's what we have on the screens. They can see it on their screen. So you go Luke Austin, Jeff Adair, Tyler Erickson, Austin Silva, Jafari, Brendan, Hayden, Tyler, Josh, Connor,
Adonijah,
which is cool to see his name there. Eddie, and then Jonathan Ortiz.
Dave Stewart was at 14.
Four teenagers
Yeah.
this year.
Yeah.
That's so
The youth is
awesome.
coming up.
Yeah. Yes. It's gonna be a fun one to watch for sure. And then, wait, you said Dave Stewart was one away. Is that what you said? How?
Dave Stewart was in 14.
The backup, yeah.
Barely misses
Well,
it.
if someone, not
So
that
if
you
someone
wish
can't
but if
make it,
someone
does
can't
he
make
go
it-
into it? Like if there's somebody that can't be there, does he take that slot?
Yes.
Yeah, so the next, at least one person comes just in case anyone gets hurt or sick or can't make it or whatever.
Nice.
So
That
they'll
happened
invite
one
forward.
year when
Wow.
didn't Brendan Shoemaker get sick at one point, and then the alternate had to step in that year. So that has
Yeah, I mean, I
That's
think
happened
every
before.
year there's some
Something.
injuries, and that
Right.
year, COVID, and yeah.
yeah. Yes, COVID.
It's yeah.
Okay, now here are the women, which is a stacked field as well. Which women are taking 14. Is that correct?
It's 13, but unfortunately, Emily French tore her
Oh.
ACL
Yes.
So Heather
this
bumps up.
last weekend. So
So
There
yeah,
you
then
Heather's gonna.
who's in that 15th spot to be the
Laura
alternate?
Laura Dobbs is according to this.
For cops, yeah.
Cool. That's so awesome.
Yeah. You got
Exciting.
Okay, Holly's going to read them for you. Here are your ladies going to race the rail unofficially.
we go number 1 Zane, then Rachel Cecil, then the Mercedes Silva.
The Mercedes.
Kay Love is in number 4. Nikki Martin, Rachel Payne, Sarah Meeker, Emma Stewart in the number 8 slot. Ashley, we've got Hannah, Christy Miller, Raquel McCoster is in there.
Yeah.
Emily won't be joining it. That's so sad for her. We're so sorry, Emily. So Heather will be taking that 13th spot.
Okay. And it's,
Exciting stuff.
it is.
Uh,
And,
2 teenagers in ours, I think. So half as many as the boys or as the guys.
yeah. That's crazy. It's gonna be fun to we're like 90% sure we'll be out there as the whole crew, rooting everybody on, trying to document it. It'll be fun to be a part of in any capacity we can be to help. It's gonna be, I think it's gonna be one of those most memorable races for the
Yeah, it's
rails.
gonna be awesome.
I do. I
It
think
Yeah,
it's,
it's gonna be.
I'm super excited. My little nephew is going to be there this year, too. I'm
Oh,
so
that's
excited.
awesome.
yeah.
That's great.
That's
Very
great.
fun. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Okay, that's tremendous. Well, we can't wait to hang with you guys out there. And then at the end of that, really close, will be Windman, which is a race that happens around here, which will be another fun race to. It's not the last one. Is it?
Float Life
Float.
Fest.
Is that after Windman or before?
I believe that's
It's
after
before.
this.
Yeah.
It's before. So
Oh, I
Windman
think
is the last.
last.
What'd you say, Mercedes?
A Windman is the last one.
Okay, that's the last race, which is a great race.
Yeah, and
great race.
women's this is going to be great. They've been working hard to raise a bunch of money. There's like a $2,000 purse
Yeah.
for both men and women top times.
Dang.
They're also including a completely revamped dual slalom course. Sounds like it's going to be kind of 2 separate races, but
Yeah.
yeah, it's gonna be a great time, and I really
Yeah.
hope some more pros make it out there this year because I
It's
know
a
it's been a
great
long
race.
season, but yeah, it's an amazing race and it's a good time.
Yeah, those trails, I think what I love about the trails up there, it is a drive north, but the trails are so pristine. Like, I've never heard anyone walk out of there going, oh, that was way harder than I thought, or, every race I've been to, somebody shows up and go, oh, I can't do that. There are sections that pros are for pros, and then there's sections that everybody can do. It's
I'm
just
actually
great.
going to ride the trails there this year. I've never ridden them. I've been out there. I've ran through them, but I'm going to try to ride them. I may not race. I'm going to try to ride.
Yeah, I haven't heard if there's a beginner class yet.
Yeah, I don't know. Last year there
We'll
was.
take another ride.
There you go.
Yes.
And
so
she'll
fun.
whisper in your ear, you need a GTS, you need a GTS. Yeah, we will be up.
great.
Give her a mug for the ride.
Yeah, thank you. You're a good friend. we will be up there. I think a lot of Scott Mendenhall and friends will be up there to help do the starts of the races and the finishing of the races again this year to help that be a part of the experience. So we're excited about that whole thing. It does feel like the season's coming to end, but there's
still so
a lot
much left.
more that has to get done. So, okay. We'll let the two of you get back on your road. Thank you so much for hanging with us. Can't wait till we hug you and high five you in real life. Give your dogs
Just
a good old...
over a month.
A little
Yes.
over a month, that's right. Give your pups a hug for us, and we will see you out at Race for the Rails in 5 weeks, I
Love
think
you
it is.
guys.
We love you guys.
Love you
Good.
guys.
Love you too.
Love you.
having
Thanks
us.
for what you guys do.
Bye, guys.
Adios. Woo! They are good people
They're
right there.
so good.
Seriously.
So good for the sport. I hope they feel appreciated.
They're so
and-
good for my soul.
Yes, all of that too.
Like, just
are
sitting
wonderful.
chatting with them through this is like sitting around a campfire with them and chatting for a long time.
I know. I love doing that with them.
And we, again, for all of those that I know that the factory team we talk about, a part of making great products, but everyone out at Onewheel, Julian and the engineers that are making ideas come to fruition in real, thanks for what you're doing. It's been fun to cover all of these things you're dropping and trying to keep up with what you guys are doing as a marketing team. Thank you for all of that. I hope everybody today has enjoyed just hanging with us over the last few moments. Race for Rails is going to be a lot of fun. Lily and Holly, it's going to be a good time to cover the sport and continue to do what we get to do. So,
Can we get some like headsets and like look like sports commentators?
what do they look like exactly?
Not sure.
They will have like
Something
the
cool.
microphone.
The
thing.
microphone, that's what.
Yeah.
Do we look professional right now?
I'm sure.
Well,
Yeah.
To some.
But wait, if you
normal
don't
for
know,
us.
wait, if you're saying you want that to make us look professional, if you don't know if we look professional
We
right
look
now.
Professional right now.
We
look
do.
Look at this microphone.
Oh, it's it's all about the microphone. Except for we cut you off and you're glowing with this one shot.
I gotta lean
Yeah,
in.
you got to lean in a little
I
bit or
can't.
something
My
like that.
microphone hinders me.
Oh
my
my
goodness.
goodness. This is where the production
We
value
can
goes
fix
down.
that. We can fix
Get
it.
this, look at this. This is what she's doing right now. You still going to make
She's
that?
like, I just no,
No.
not that one. The wide shot.
The wide shot. There.
There
Oh,
she
there it is. But you
is.
can't talk.
We can't hear you.
No.
Okay, that's probably fine.
The best voice in the
That's
house
probably
right
fine.
there. Okay. Anything we need to cover that from the chat and stuff?
We
No.
chat was very chatty today with different things going on. So super fun to have all of you guys. It's gonna be a mad dash for the Race for the Rails. It's gonna be
it
super
is.
fun.
It's gonna
and
be fun.
Might need to get some of the other contenders on to chat with them and how
Yeah,
they're
over the next
preparing.
few weeks, we will start to hear what they're doing. You know, they won't give all their secrets away because they have to keep some of those things hidden because they gotta keep your racer's edge
Yeah.
going. For
Yeah,
sure.
and cool just to see how it ends up. How it always works out. Emma made it in. That's pretty fun. We
That's
talked about that
awesome
last
for
week.
her.
So super
Yeah.
excited for her.
Yeah, I can't wait to see her perform. It'd be really cool to see her dad get it in, and those two get to have that moment.
I did-
It's a bit like LeBron James and his son.
Yeah,
Brawny.
exactly.
Yeah, just in our sport.
I did get to chat with them. We keep in contact
Oh,
with
look
them a
at
little
you
bit.
name dropping.
No. Just
Look at her.
because.
Anyways, looking forward to what you have to say.
Anyways, it was just fun to hear the perspective. I was just asking Emma's mom how they were, how was the trip for them and all that stuff. And she was sad that her dad didn't make it in for Race for the Rails, but loves that he's going to be her coach. And so that's so fun that it's still such a family thing. And
That is cool.
we gravitate towards that and love that side of it, of just being able to do it with family.
Correct.
So
Okay.
So that's all I was going to say. Sophia, you're amazing.
We are going to be dropping tomorrow, 4 p.m., a video of last year's Windman. You'll get a good idea of what it looks like. If you're on the fence, should you sign up? Should you make the trip to northern Wisconsin? Absolutely. It's a great time of year in the north, and it is beautiful. Weather's right. All of those things.
It is sitting around a campfire, going and racing, back of the camp. Like
Yeah,
you
it's
just got
nice.
time to chill with everybody. It's super fun.
It-
That's a great
it's-
event.
Race.
So if you want to know what that looks like, you can watch that. It's actually the debut of the 5-inch hub for us. So obviously it's dated in the fact that it's the 5-inch hub, but it was a little less than a year ago. So you'll be able to watch that if you have some ideas or want ideas if you're going to come. We're going to drop that tomorrow on our YouTube channel. So subscribe to the channel so you don't miss that stuff. We will be doing a review on the FST. Is that what it's called?
Fast pads.
Yeah,
Fast pads.
FST.
FST.
Yeah, we'll be doing a review
Fluid.
on that. We have the 6-inch review happening here in a little bit. We got a lot happening, so
Got a lot.
hang tight.
Exciting.
And congratulations to everybody on the flow team. Excited for you guys to be able to continue to do what you're doing in the sport. We will see everybody next week because this one is coming to an end. Thank
Bye,
you, Lily and Holly, for
everybody.
being with us. Bye.